Why is Adi dressed as a Disney princess? Hey guys, welcome back to the Cheeky Bastards podcast, a podcast that's all about cricket and the banter that comes with it. So, Adi, this is not the Pride month, not the time to come out, but hey, it's legal in India. You're here, you're queer, get over it, right?
It's always a
So,
Pride Month. Just like, see, they say, right, that every day should be celebrated for women, not just women. Similarly, every month is a Pride
oh,
Month.
oh, actually, today is Women's Day. Somebody
Yes, it
told
is.
me. Yeah. Oh,
For
you
real
all.
cricket, we need to follow.
Yeah, no. So, moving on from Women's Day or whatever, right?
Whatever.
Come on. So, let's discuss important things in life, which is the Gavaskar Trophy final test. Come on. Okay, all right.
Oh,
Okay,
right,
I'll
right.
take
No,
I'll take a minute. I'll ask Adi you something.
yeah.
Put your hand to your heart. Put your hand to your heart, and then
Which
say
one? Left or right?
wherever it is fine. Right. एक ही है झूठ बोलोगे तो collapse हो जाएगा. No, put it there. Put it there. हाँ. So
Yes.
now tell me, very honestly, hand to your heart, is Women's Day more important to you than the fourth test of Border Gavaskar Trophy, which would decide if India goes to final or not World Championship?
See, I think you're already aware that I don't have a girlfriend. But do you want if my imaginary girlfriend to break up with me? Is that something you want right now?
Okay. So the answer is very clear. Let's discuss what is important, which is Border Gavaskar Trophy final match.
Yes. Happy
Uh,
Women's Day. Moving on.
it's set up in a way now which almost makes it like a good story about it, the final, because Steve Smith is the captain who's won more test matches in India than even Ricky
Then Pat
Ponting, who's
Cummins.
not won anything. Than Pat Cummins, though, is obvious. And so him captaining the fourth match with Pat Cummins being absent, then set it up, and him winning the last match by 9 wickets, then that is something that would put doubt in people's minds. So I'll squash those doubts. But that's a good story, is what I'm saying. That's a very good
Yes, no, no.
story for a build up that Steve Smith can win his third match here now, right? And if he does that, I think, at least if he does that, in my opinion, the best touring captain for the last 10 years, at least. Like, I don't think no other captain has more wins. I think Alistair Cook has
I think Rahane, yes. Sorry.
touring India.
Oh, I mean,
Yes.
best touring captain, I was saying. That is.
Ajinkya Rahane is not touring India, so calm your tits since you're wearing that pink t-shirt. So
Yes.
yeah, but let me come to squashing those same things. So what I would say is, and this is what I think. I want your opinion also on that. Don't you think the third loss that happened, like third match loss that happened for India, was India losing more than Australia winning? Is what I thought. Like Steve Smith did well. He
Yes, no
changed the
doubt.
bowling well. Batters batted well, especially in the fourth inning. Right, was very good. But it was just because, in my opinion, it was just because India never arrived. Only like they were never there. Like I think they just took it as this is going to be easy peasy. Like we'll do our normal stuff. We'll get like there was no energy to them in the way that they didn't think like it was a competition, but it became a competition then for them.
Right. I'll actually begin the story from like overall. See, I'll come to this point, but let me start from there. So I think till now, even though the line reached 2-1, it has been surprisingly and quite unexpectedly a very competitive series. Like
Yeah,
when the first test match was very easily dominated by India, there was no qualms
yeah,
on that. Second test, even though India won, but Australia were in a very good spot at one point. So if
yeah.
not for that major collapse, they would have a very good chance.
Yeah,
And
60
then
more runs, as we discussed, right? 60,
th-
70 more runs would have made the difference, like
right.
a lot of difference. Yeah.
And in the third test, Australia dominated right from the first session. I mean, they were dominated. Like we say that they played well and India did not execute their plans properly. India lost rather than Australia winning. That's all thing. But Australia always dominated that game.
Yeah. No,
So
that's
I don't think there can be a better setup for the fourth test match. I remember Rohit was complaining after the second test, after the win, that when you have Ashwin and Jadeja, likes of these players, they don't want to let the ball go. They want to keep bowling from their end.
Yeah.
And although it sounds very good, like, we have such quality bowlers, it actually shows that your captain is not capable enough to lead the side at that moment.
Not true.
And I don't think that has been discussed enough, that if you're not able to, no matter how senior the bowlers are, at the end of the day, you are the captain. You should be the one calling the shots, not the bowler saying that, no, I don't want to give the ball to anyone else. Nathan
Then, then,
Lyon is a very senior bowler, but I
then there's
think
no
very
captain.
easily Smith was doing that he'll give 3-4 overs to Lyon, then other end Murphy's bowling, and like short spell, he was rotating DC balls, and that was a very good thing. What has happened till now is that excuse me, Akshar Patel has batted well, but he doesn't have any
Oh,
sort of rhythm. He's
yeah.
looking more like a Ashton Agar with the ball right now,
Come
and
on. Okay.
he is looking like that. He has one wicket only, or two. I mean, see, test 1 or 2 wickets in India, being the home spinner, definitely a point of concern. You cannot not talk about that.
Not sure. So we
So
started the discussion of the series saying that Agar might bowl similar to Akshar and would be helpful in Indian conditions, but it turned out
right,
to be that Akshar starting bowling like Agar. But hey, we are discussing it today. Tomorrow is his home conditions for Akshar, right?
yeah.
And as we were just going over the pitch report, it will be the same track that Ahmedabad always uses. It's not going to be different, is what they are saying, and we are believing it. And so Akshar would probably, get a 10 for tomorrow, and we both would look like any idiots that we are, which is fine, right? But I'm just
Right.
saying, like, we are saying that right now, but I agree with you. The rhythm was off for Akshar.
See, the thing is that when they're saying normal pitch, that doesn't mean that you will get a pitch which will provide a lot of possession to the pacers in the first 2 sessions, and then from second they will be a good. That isn't necessarily normal everywhere. You have to take into consideration that where the match is being played. A normal for Australia, South Africa, and India are very different.
Yes,
So it won't have excessive turn like Indore, but it doesn't mean that you can go ahead with C pacers. That's also not going to be the case. I think, I mean, based on what I see, I still think both the teams will go with 3 spinners and 2 pacers kind of.
okay. It makes sense. See, for India, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you have in your three paces, you have three batsmen for you, basically. Like
Three
Jadeja,
spinners, you mean,
Ashwin,
right? Yeah.
yeah, Jadeja, Ashwin, and Akshar, I don't know, have not calculated, would have probably more run than all the other batsmen combined, I'll say. Right?
Yeah,
Minus
even
maybe Sara innings.
Lion says that these guys, that Akshar Patel and Ashwin and Ravindra Jadeja, who come to bat at 7, 8, 9, most of the team would be privileged to have them batting in top 6.
Yes, yes,
Privileged, not
agreed.
just happy. They will be like, wow, that's such a great thing.
No, and I'll tell you this also. If Jadeja or Ashwin, one of Jadeja or Ashwin, or in current era Akshar would have been playing and as good as they're playing right now in Australian conditions also, let's say, then and if they were in Australian team, they would have been the captain of the team, probably. Like,
And we have
when,
one of the guys, Washington Sundar, which Australia was saying that they'd gladly replace for a Travis Head at that point. He was
yeah,
uh, he was
yeah.
one of the options being discussed. Is not even in the contention for being in the squad. So that's a good
No,
thing, but doesn't help.
doesn't help. Agreed. And I would stick with what selectors have decided. See, if Akshar, Jadeja, and Ashwin are your best spinners in India, then they should play, according to me. I understand there are good new bowlers and all, but when you're playing these important series, right? If it was against Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, stuff like that, I would say no, not a. Like, you don't need to do that. But you
Right.
can try new players. But when it's important series, you need your best. And if these are your best, then you go with it. And I think it's proven that they're the best there. So that's not
Right.
debate at all. I think if we are discussing teams, right, let's go into teams a little bit. I, based on what Rohit has said, I'm not going to believe anything and what has happened. So I'm not going to believe anything that he says or the Indian camp says at all. Like the same day that they said, so one day they said after the match, second match, that we are backing KL 100%, this and that. Vice President नहीं है तो क्या शादी हुई है उसको परेशान मत करो blah blah blah. Dropped. Next match dropped. Right. So you get it's gaslighting, dude. If this was in a relationship, you would have to leave that person. This is not
Like,
healthy.
you have to think of the whole sequence, right? Second match ends. a lot of criticism for KL, and in post-match conference, Rohit and both of them come and say that we are totally backing him.
Backing.
He's our vice captain. He's a senior player for the side. We trust him because of his skills. Cool.
Trust me.
2 days later, he gets the squad gets announced. He's still there, but he's not the vice captain anymore. Then both of them come and say that even though he's not the vice captain, doesn't mean anything. He's still in our plans. He's a senior player. We are going to back him. I think there was a little bit of mistake with the choice of words. They basically were saying we are going to throw him back, not so. I mean, let's excuse them for making slight mistake in English. That's not our first language, right?
Not the first language.
That's totally
Exactly.
fine.
Not
Yeah,
the first.
हिंदी हमारी मातृभाषा भाषा
मातृभाषा है. मातृभाषा है. Let's go with the Adi has Hindi itself. क्या RSS का भक्त बनेगा रे तू? Anyways.
Akshay, I'm so glad Akshay is not there in this.
He would have been here.
He would have killed.
So pissed at you, dude. What if they
Shout out to Akshay.
You know, like
Oh,
I'll clip this and send this to Akshay.
sure.
All right, since we're discussing teams, right, let's go get into the changes that we expect probably. So, because I don't trust whatever they're saying right now, they're saying that they will be backing probably KS Bharat, and a lot of cricket pundits and commentators are saying the same thing, that Bharat hasn't done anything wrong behind the wicket, probably one or two drop chances, which on the pitches that they're playing is very normal. Like, I
Right,
don't
yeah.
think even Adam Gilchrist or MS Dhoni would be able to capture everything here, right? So
No, yeah, I agree.
let's just, excuse that one or two. But other than that, the dismissal in the first set itself, sets him apart from every other probably keeper. But the runs that he's not scoring, this is my opinion also. I'll stick with Bharat. Actually, I know you're not. But my opinion is if you have a better keeper, you keep the better keeper, right? You do not go with the runs that he has to make, because anyways you have like a top order, a batting in your home conditions. You're not able, if your top order is not able to bat, if your middle order is not able to bat, and your iconic three spinners who are the world class batsmen as well are not able to score the run, you cannot blame the keeper for that. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Right. This is very wrong. Yeah.
I think what is happening are two things here. First of all, I mean, there has been a shift in cricket from what we used to see like maybe 5-10 years ago and to now, that earlier we used to have this preference of better keeper who can bat, but now slowly we have to accept this, that it is moving towards someone, a batsman who is a good keeper as well. And I mean, I know KS Bharat has not scored a lot of runs, which is not his fault, right? That's fine. But you have to, then I think the topic has gone to how he has got out. Like, he has not looked that, I'm sorry to put this out, but he has not looked that capable to play a big innings of sorts in these conditions, right? And it's not like he's getting dropped just after one match. He got 3 matches. You have played 5 innings. You can't say that you did not get enough opportunities. It's the last match. They have an option, because Rishabh Pant, whenever he'll be back, he'll definitely be in the 11 as soon as he's back. So they are going to try out. I think it's fair enough if they want to try out Ishan Kishan for a change, because I mean, if we get him at 5 or 6, right, we can have another left-hander, which is not a bad idea, I think. So looking at all combinations, nothing against KS Bharat, but for the final match, I don't mind seeing Ishan Kishan getting a try, because see, anyway, no one is scoring runs, right? So if KS Bharat is not scoring run, what wrong can Ishan Kishan do? What he can do wrong is maybe he can't keep well enough as KS Bharat has it, and we have seen in limited over cricket that Ishan Kishan hasn't been the best wicket keeping option. But then also Rishabh Pant was also not a great wicket keeper at one point. He improved a lot. Let's give a chance to Ishan Kishan to have a look how prepared or ready he seems to be for international cricket.
I have the similar concern there, right? I understand that the problem is that Bharat has gotten out on the playing the wrong shots or going about it the wrong way, let's say. But the whole problem is when we say, right, that cricket has evolved and we're looking for keepers who can bat well. right? Not the best keeper in the world in your team, but the best keeper who can bat also. So like somewhere in middle, somewhere
Right.
whose keeping skills is not 10, but let's say 8 or 7 or 8 is fine, but their batting is then also 7 or 8 and not 2, right? So that's what probably out of 10, if you're talking, that's what probably the teams are looking for. But that's what I'm saying, right? Alex Carey is not that. But Australia is going to stick with Alex Carey for the next 10 years, probably. Like whatever his age is, however long he's going to play. Let's say he's 28. I
As
don't know
long
his
as
age.
he's not 37.
Yeah. So, no, even before that, I'll say he'll be 33, 34, and the next keeper would then start, making inroads into the team. That's what happens if you, for guys who don't know, I'll just take 2 minutes here. But if you don't know, in domestic circles, this is what happens. They see the team right now and they see that after 2 years a player would be needed or not. So for the next 2 year cycle, what they'll do is every state team in Australia, I'm saying this. India also it happens, but at a different level. But in Australia, what happens is then they'll start looking at what exactly does the Australian team needs for test. So let's say Australian team needs batsmen. So even if you're a spinner, what you will start doing is you'll start scoring some runs. Your coach would want you to score some runs so they can put your picture on board and get publicized and then, probably get you into the conversation for you to be in the team. Similar is, let's say, wicketkeeper was needed for, there's a massive problem in the ODI and T20 side, where at a point Wade's replacement was needed, right? Carey is not that replacement in T20, right? Which has
Yeah,
been
right.
proven. At international level, he's not the replacement as of right now. So who would it be? We have 5 options now. So every batsman who was scoring runs started keeping. Right? And
Peter
because
Hanscom be like, maybe.
yeah, even Hanscom keeps. That's the thing, right? So that's what people start to do, and I think that is what would start to happen in India also. That's what we need to do, and it will happen in Australia as well. But my point is that they're going to stick with Carey, and I'm okay with that decision, even if he doesn't bat well. Because, see, you have to have a stable 11. You cannot, this horses for courses thing works, right? Works a lot. But if you go with that mindset, what happened in the first test would happen. You would think that somebody like Renshaw would be better than Head. Renshaw hasn't played a game internationally for 7-8 years or so, right? The last game he played in India, he scored 63, so that was very nice, right? No, it doesn't work like that, right? This horses for courses thing doesn't work. To the contrary, I would give you an opinion. Travis Head scored very poorly in Sri Lanka. Travis Head has a very bad record in A series outside Sena countries,
Yeah,
right?
right.
But he was the informed batsman for Australia, and he's the number 4th ranked test batsman also. Dropping him was one of the biggest mistakes that Australian team did. As soon as you put him back in the team, he started scoring runs, right? The way he
Yeah, no, I agree.
played the way he's supposed to play. So I would say that is what India needs. And I honestly do not think Ishan Kishan is the answer. I'm sorry. At a test level, I don't see him as the option. Because if you're putting new players into the team as a replacement, because I'll tell you what will happen. Ishan Kishan, let's say, scores runs, keeps badly, but India wins. So this is the Indian formula. They'll go with him then, right? Like, doesn't matter if you keep badly. If you have won by you scoring runs, we're good. Right? So let's say
Right.
then Rishabh Pant comes in. Now all of a sudden what will happen is 2 years later, Rishabh Pant comes in, right? So now what will happen is 1.5 years or so. Now because he has a position in the team, now you have to play him and Pant in the team, right? So
As
you'll
a
have
pure batter one.
as a pure, and this is what fucked up India's 2019 World Cup chances also. Like I think you would agree to that. Just
4
because you
wicket
had
keepers.
2 to
3
3
wicket.
keepers in the team, you just played all of them as pure batsmen, and none of them worked as pure batsmen, and that's the problem that India would face. Rather, I would have stuck with Bharat. But let's move on. I think one player
See, I
is
think the point is, I'm not saying your formula or your argument is wrong or flawed at any way, but I think the thing here is that I am saying what BCCI is doing,
okay.
not
Sorry,
what should happen. So
sorry,
I'm not.
my bad.
We are not doing a 11 we want. If we are doing a 11 we want, I would not have this. What do we say? Virat Kohli. Rather, I would play in the 11. I won't have Virat Kohli in this 11. Never.
Okay,
Not
calm
going
your
to have that.
tits, sweetheart. That's what happening.
Yes, so that's not happening. Exactly the point, right? But okay, moving on. The 11 that we're talking about, we are not seeing any changes in top 9, right? We have a fixed top 9. Who's going to be dropped?
Ishan Kishan in for
KS Bharat, right? I mean,
yeah.
right, that's it. But the 9 is fixed. 10,
Yeah.
11, I'm expecting a bit of change here. So 10 and 11 previously were Shami and Siraj.
Yeah.
Last match, Shami was listed for Umesh Yadav.
Hmm.
1 second. I'm expecting Siraj to be given rest for this one and playing Umesh and Shami because one, they are very good bowler.
Yeah.
Second, they are better batsmen than Siraj.
No, so see, this would
That is
be
going to be a point of concern for BCCI.
okay.
Again, I'm not saying what I want. I'm saying what BCCI wants.
I got it. So let me ask you this as an Australian cricket fan. What BCCI को क्या सिर्फ batsman ही चाहिए team में कि like is that the criteria? Everyone has to bat?
No.
Is
See,
that
the thing is, Siraj is a very good bowler, but there is nothing that Shami doesn't offer. Like in Indian condition, Siraj is good, but Shami is also, if not better, he's equally good. There is no parameter where you can say that no, Siraj is better than Shami in India. Now remember, so they'll say that it's a rotation policy. We are not dropping, but we are giving him rest. And for one match, we'll be seeing because both are equally capable.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. They're right also in that, right? Because I don't see any big difference that is going to get right. If
Yes,
changing a bowling and using a fast bowler when the ball is starting to reverse is going to happen, Umesh is going to give you the same. Umesh is going to do what Umesh was doing, but Siraj and Shami are going to
Shami.
give the same results basically. So you can
Right.
rotate.
And even
Umesh,
if there is some seam movement available, like let's assume in a parallel universe, Ahmedabad says that we are going to provide some assistance to a pacer.
not happening.
Just parallel universe in the multiverse, not on this Earth, but Earth 368. In that case, Shami is already there. Do you need anyone else? Do you have anyone else in the world with a better seam presentation than Shami there, who can
For
utilize the
India, no.
assistant?
For India, no.
No one has a better seam presentation than him. It's photographic. Come on. I'm talking about when situation is helpful, Shami is absolute beast there. I don't see how you can deny that.
At Cummings. Yeah, no. Okay.
What a
So,
joke. Give me another one, sure.
okay. James Anderson. Okay.
Swing, not swing.
No, if the conditions are helping, you're saying. So if the conditions
Yeah.
are helping, Cummins is the bowler. But
See,
anyway, I think we are enough with India. I think we're good with the changes. Bharat might get dropped and one bowler might get rotated. So both of these changes actually doesn't change much, other than the fact what you've already pointed out is that if Ishan Kishan turns out to be a pathetic keeper, right, then that
that's
is
actually
going
good. That's actually good. He will never get to play again.
to. Yeah.
Good for Indian cricket.
Okay. Here is Adi finding silver linings in everything, right? Every cloud has a silver lining. So here we are.
Anderson smiles.
Okay. Oh god. Okay. So now Australian team, right? We already know Cummins is not playing. I think it's going to be the same team then, right?
Any changes that see until unless which again R368 until unless that is happening, any changes that Australia make in this 11, which is a very balanced 11, you have three very quality spinners who are doing a good job, who are in a rhythm,
Yeah.
much better than Akshar Patel and better than Ashwin in last test as well. So you are going to keep them. You have
Yeah.
Stark to do the cleaning job and
Yeah.
odd jobs, to make the ball old.
He was calling Shreyas Iyer an odd job for Stark. When he
like
started trading spinners, you had Stark back.
when suppose Netherlands has gone to washroom, they need someone to bowl one over, or when they want the ball to be old enough, like one of the stitches should be removed. So Stark can do those things, and Green, not because of his bowling, but because he's a better batsman. And I don't think any other changes would be stupidity actually. Who would you don't have enough options. You have Matt Runshaw, Lance Morris, and no one else in your squad.
Hot bowler.
Batting, yeah, I mean, any other change would be stupid here.
No,
That's what I'm saying.
any change that would happen tomorrow would probably be a result of some injury or something like that. I don't think there's going to be any change. And this is standard Australian formula. If it works, it works, wala thing, right? Which is very
Right. Yeah.
stupid sometimes, right? Because this is the excuse they gave the first time around, right? Why they played that team in the first time. They're like, same bowling as the last team that played in Australia. just two changes, Peter Hanscom and Matt Rencha. I was like, I I do not understand Pat Cummins, dude. I do not understand Pat Cummins at all. But okay. Anyways, I don't think Smith is going to make a change. Right, the batting is what it is, right? They're going to play Khwaja, they're going to play Head. They're going to play, obviously, Marnus and Smith, right? That is going to be their 100%, right? They're going to play Hanscom because Hanscom has proven that he can bat better than the options that are available for Australia at that
Yeah,
moment.
that's the thing.
Right.
Right.
And Green, I would say, the just having someone like Green in the team, right? Even not utilizing, let's say, provides enough balance and intimidation to the other team that it almost makes up for the spot that he takes, right?
Yeah,
Like
right.
I know he got out very early the next day when he was batting, right? But you know that if he's there, he can hit boundaries given at any point. Like whenever he wants to hit one, he'll hit one, right? And he's the kind of batsman who has proven in the last year at least that he can provide you those knocks that are needed, those 50 plus knocks if needed in Test cricket, right? He's the one who can provide that to Australia at a very fast pace also when required. So, and he's someone who can come in and bowl length to length when, like the right lane top of off if you want him to bowl that. Like he's that player for you, right? And also he has proven sometimes, very less in Australia, but he has proven that if needed, sometimes the top three bowlers in the country are not able to take a wicket. He then goes there and bowls the same delivery that they were bowling, but the batsman is more confident against him, and then they'll play and then he'll get a wicket. So
Oh,
Green, I don't think as long as he's fit, he's not going to. I'll tell you what is my only problem. Obviously, carry plays. As I've told you, they're never going to change that for the next 7 years, right? And bowling is, as you said, the three bowlers, not world class bowlers. Relax, right? I hear this a lot in commentary also. Australia has this is against world class spin bowling. That's why India is crumbling. Like something like that, something on those lines. I heard. Bitch, please. Two of them have started bowling for the first time. They are debutants, Australian debutants. Which
yes,
means
Virat Kohli is giving the wickets as gifts right now.
yeah,
They're
so
at that stage.
their Australian debutant spinner means they are going to be out of job in 3 to 4 years, right? That's what it means. So
I
please
thought
stop.
they'll be out of the job in next month only. Like
No.
once this series is over, what do you do?
Only for non-SENA countries they'll be in the next 3 to 4 years, and then they'll be gone. Right? That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Even, like they'll disappear quicker than Xavier Doherty. They'll be lost. Like they'll be lost like Steve O'Keefe, right? Like stuff like that will happen is what I'm saying, right? 100% guaranteed. So again, you can check their career 3 to 4 years. So with that being said, right, let's not call it world class bowling. Yeah, I would agree. They bowled very well. They adopted second and third match very well. They bowled very well, and but they didn't bowl better than the Indian bowlers. This is something I would debate you right now. I'm okay to debate you also. They didn't
I
bowl better than the
think they
Indian
did.
bowlers. Spinners, I'll tell you why. The way that the players have gotten out, other than Lion, I'll say. Lion is a world class bowler. You would never agree. Go fuck yourself.
I
This is
agree
also
on that.
okay. Fuck yourself. If Lion played for India like Ashwin did, right? Lion would have had subsequently more wickets, like too many more wickets than Ashwin. That's not even close. It's not even close. Okay. The way he's bowled here, oh my god, all three matches. I mean, come on. What more can you ask from a bowler, right? So Lion is a world class bowler. But the other two, they were bowling basic lengths, like basic spinning lengths, and not too much turn also in that. Jadeja gets double the turn than the best Australian bowler, right? So let's not get there. Let's not go there at all. That they're better. But yeah, I would say they bowled consistently. And the changing that happened, right? The captain effect of Smith being there over what Rohit was just allowing Jadeja and Ashwin to have their ego battles, that is what worked for them in the third match. I'm not saying that's going to work for them in the fourth also. It might happen that the ego battle wins, right? They're the best spin bowlers in the world. And in their
Here's
own
my
point.
point. I'm not denying that. First of all, I never said that Lion is not a good bowler. He's a brilliant bowler. I have always said that if India, if India are going to lose any of the matches, it is going to be because of Lion. He is going to be the chief wrecker. I use this line always. Lion kha jayega, and I agree to that. That's the kind of bowler he is. But why I said that Todd Murphy and how do you pronounce the other spinner name, the third guy? They
Matthew
did
Kuhneman. Janeman?
third guy,
Kuhneman. Yeah.
third guy.
No,
So
not Janeman. Kuhneman.
third guy. So what they did better was, for example, when I was watching the fourth inning, especially, right? Indian spinners were not consistent with their length. Like even for starting for 6 to 8 overs, they were bowling well. But once they were in under pressure that okay, wickets are not falling anymore. What are we supposed? After that, they aired in their lengths. And as a spinner in Indian condition, if you're not bowling the right lengths, you won't get the time to turn the ball as well, right? A lot of full balls, a lot of balls which are way too short, and that was a mistake from Indian bowl. And Australian bowlers in both innings, not just Lyon, but even Murphy and third guy, they were doing that
Matthew
much better.
Kuhneman. Okay.
So, just for the third test, I will go on to say that Indian bowler batters did pathetic job, but also Australian spinners did slightly better than what Indians did.
Slightly. Okay, I'll give you slightly. That's fine. That
Right.
sounds wrong. I'll give you slightly. Anyways, moving on. Obviously, then
Yes.
your final bowler is going to be Stark only if he's available, because I saw some bleeding on his finger again. He had a finger injury only, and I know how Australia is about. You know how they feel about Starkey. So if
So,
he
just
has
one
any,
question, sorry here. If suppose he gets injured, like hopefully, if he gets injured, then who comes in at number 8?
Lance Morris.
Lance Morris, he comes in at 8, not Boland,
No,
because
no.
he's a wild thing. And Australia will have a longish tail in that case. They already have a very long tail, but they'll have a
What
longer
long
one.
tail? They don't have any tail. Carry is the tail. What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, yes, carries at 7, but you have Stark at 8, so you have an insurance of sorts, right? But
No,
what about if
not
that
both.
happens, then you will have um, Cam Green at number 11, right? I mean,
No.
the last guy.
Kuhneman and Matthew Kuhneman and Todd Murphy can't bat for shit, right? And
No, see that.
Lance Morris would come in definitely, because see they use Stark for what? I don't think Stark bowled 10 overs also, right? So they're using him as a change bowler. So when the spinners this for the first 4 overs, and then as a change bowler whenever the spinners need a little more rest. And
Yeah,
let's say pitch is offering any kind of reverse option, then Stark would play for a few overs. So the same job for those 8 overs, Lance Morris can do, if not as well, obviously not as well as Stark. So they'll take that over Scott Boland any day, because Scott Boland's job is not that. Scott Boland's job is to bowl in parallel to Cummins to get wickets. So like both of them would attack your stumps. All
yeah. So
three,
he's more dependent on situation and
100%,
conditions.
100%, 100% more. He's not that, Braveheart from. I like that line. Sorry, I know I've used that a lot, but the Braveheart from New Zealand, right? Like that,
Yes,
dude, come
Wagner.
on. That exemplifies what Wagner is. Like he is that
Yes,
Braveheart.
yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, absolute respect for him, nothing
Yeah,
else.
so yeah, he's not that. Scott Boland is not that. He's a more of a if the pitch supports his kind of a bowling, yeah, he'll wreck you. Like he knows that length, he knows that line, he'll stick to it. Right? But
Right.
other than that, he's not useful. That's why I was shocked they are bringing Scott Boland here. But anyways, okay,
So,
I think
what's your prediction?
yeah. So my prediction going in is mine says again that India is going to win, right? The reason being that again, this is what I believe. Whatever Smith did was world class, but in the end, India never arrived there. Now India knows that they have to win the final match, and Rohit Sharma would have probably shouted at them and be like, "अब कल से कोई बकचोदी नहीं, जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ वो करना पड़ेगा."
इसलिए होली
Right?
खेल रहा था, right?
Yeah,
Makes sense.
the so probably he'll have a tighter grip on the team. But if you see, so the mind says that is going to happen, and so India is going to win. It's going to be 3-1, and India is going to qualify for World Test Championship, which is going to be much more fun. But
Because in
card still says कि ये लोग फिर बकचोदी करेंगे कुछ, right? And then Australia would find a way to fight back and win. So 2-2 is what, and I always go with the heart, so I'm going with 2-2. Australia wins this test.
Right. See, I think the thing here is I'm expecting a better pitch because see, suddenly I can expect Jadeja and Ashwin to get better in a day or two. Like suddenly they realize, okay, this is the mistake that we were doing, and they were suddenly going to come tomorrow and proving why they are the best bowlers in India. They are going to do that.
Yeah.
But my problem is Indian batters. They are not going to do shit. They'll be like, yeah, we are earning the most money the highest amount of money one can ever earn, and we keep doing that even without we performing anything. Virat Kohli is going to say that I'll go get out to a world class ball of the century, and that's how it is going to proceed. So the main battle is between Indian batters and Nathan Lyon. That's if Nathan Lyon comes with the form he is in right now, it is going to be a huge task for India to survive this. I'm 100% sure the final is going to be India Australia, but I'm not sure if India can win the match. Next match, I'm not sure on that. Not confident.
Obviously, it's India Australia, dude. Like Sri Lanka
Yes,
is never
obviously.
winning 2 tests against New Zealand. Like Neil Wagner.
Coming
says,
to that, we have the test match starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, as in after 4 hours, we have New Zealand playing Sri Lanka.
Come
Just
on, man.
4
Don't
hours.
play with me. Come
No,
on.
really, that's a fact.
No, let's be honest. Nobody's watching that. Nobody gives a fuck. Even Sri Lanka knows they have no chance. See, the whole chatter is about Australia, India, Australia. Sri Lanka, no ex-player, commentator, pundit even mentioned Sri Lanka till now. Like it's been 2 months now. Nobody's mentioning Sri Lanka because everybody is like, "Bhai, kyun bejati karana apni?" Sri Lanka is not playing good. Come on, relax. Right. But yeah, I'm going to thoroughly enjoy the match tomorrow. That's for sure.
Yeah, because we are expecting a much better, more sporty pitch, something which is going to assist the batters to some extent as well. So some runs on offer, maybe a century, probably the first one of the series. First one of the series, eh? No one has
Yeah.
scored a century. Yep. So
Go on.
congratulations, well done for the average decreasing series.
Yeah, dude. And now let's discuss how this would set up the World Test Championship final, right? So let's say it's 2-1, 3-1. Because definitely India may result aayega. Like India is very result oriented. Your parents are also very result oriented, right? So
Both are disappointed.
Triple E ka result. College ka, like,
Both are disappointed.
we are a result oriented country. We will be looking at the result and we'll be disappointed with that also. Like anything you do is disappointing. So anyway, if India goes 3-1, I think they'll have much more confidence going into the World Test Championship, seeing that we have defeated Australia and India. One match has happened that was a fluke or whatever, and then they can that would be the mindset going in. But if 2-2 happens, then they draw the series here, right, with Australia. Australia would get much more of a boost going into World. Like I'm just saying, who would have more momentum going in? So if India wins, India would have almost a little more momentum than Australia, because Australia would always feel like even if they get defeated 9 wickets or 10 wickets or anything, they'll always be like, hey, we won that one match, and would have some confidence. So India would have, but if it is a draw, Australia would have a much higher level of confidence going in or momentum going into the World Test Championship, because they'll know ki, even though it's not Australian conditions, these are much more known conditions to Australia. They play there every 2 years. Right, and they have a lot of players who go play county also there. So other than I think Pujara and what was the other player who gets dropped a lot, Hanuma Vihari. Other than these two, you never drop a Kohli. Okay. So yeah, Hanuma Vihari and Pujara. Yeah, I don't. Come on, man. You're killing me. No, you do not drop a Kohli. Ponting has said that you don't drop Kohli, so you don't drop Kohli. That's it. Like that's enough.
Ponting has never won a test match in India.
Moving on. So have most captains, but moving on. Right. Yeah. So the confidence that they go into that series, right, would determine a lot, because obviously Indian bowling is world class. It's not like India won't have the best bowlers available. right? So as has happened in this series, it would become the same battle again, is what I'll say. It will be the Australian batters against the Indian bowlers, because we know what Indian batsmen are going to do even there in that condition also. Right? What are the amount of runs that they're going to offer? So the fight is going to be again what it always boils down to, I think, in India Australia in the last few series is how well the Australian batters are able to play the Indian bowlers. Because if the Indian bowlers just run through them, obviously India is going to win. But if that they don't allow, like the last match, then yeah, then India wins. So a lot of confidence leads to a lot of on-field activities and all as well. So let's see. I can say is it's going to be fun, dude. It's going to be fucking fun, and we are going to watch
Yeah.
every ball tomorrow.
Yes. The best part, I think we should have talked about it earlier. Sunil Gavaskar has made a very bold statement, which I think no one could have guessed that. He actually went on to say, as a cricket expert, as a commentator, that India is preparing turning pitches because they don't have quality bowlers. With Ashwin Jadeja and Akshar and Siraj, Shami and Umesh in India, he said India is going with turning pitches because they do not have.
See, statements like these, right, when they come out, I start, like everybody always says this, that you don't play cricket, you don't play international cricket, so you don't know, you can't comment on that, right? It's a very low level joke and very, like, something that most of people sometimes come and say when they're trying to, when there's no defense of things and they come out there, how can you say, like,
Right, yes.
usually when they don't, like, when they have a defense, they'll fight, but when they don't have any logic or defense, they say stuff like that. So, to me, when stuff like this happens, right, or a couple there will make a good comment, and then something pretty stupid, right, which tells me that I just need to be a thinking human being who watches cricket or watches a movie to be able to review that movie, or to be able to let them know what is if I like the movie or I didn't like, it's as simple as that. It boils down to that. And when stupid comments like this come out, then you think, like, this guy has had the most test runs at a point, like, seriously, this guy. But yeah, you're not hear
Watching
stuff
these guys.
from the Aussie side against Indians right now. Like, I think Australian pundits also respect Indian bowlers a lot. That has always been the
See,
battle.
they respect. No. See, I agree. They respect. I am not denying. But stupid commentators, stupid cricket experts who have played cricket exist in every part of the world, I
Everywhere.
think.
Huh?
England has a lot of them. Australia has
Most of them.
also has some of them. Yes.
England has the
And
most of them,
see,
let's agree.
yes.
England has the
So,
most of them.
so right now, when I look at these guys, Kapil Dev, Akash Chopra, Sanju Manju, Sunil Gavaskar, these people give me hope that if these people are there doing commentary and people are listening to them, how
Maybe somebody
pathetic
will.
can we be? Like, how bad can you be to not have people's attention? They are getting it, we can do it too. Maybe we have to get worse to get attention. That's another thing.
Yeah, we with our 33 subscribers are saying that. So, we're almost there. But yeah, no, the whole point of the podcast was the same, right? Like, we just wanted to say what our opinions were about the matches and wanted to discuss it. We were anyways going to waste this time discussing. Why not record it and post it also? Yeah, but very, very stupid.
Right.
You cannot. That's just plain stupid. So let's not even get there. Let's close this session today. And what I would want to say is watch every fucking ball tomorrow, because it's going to be fun. All right.
Right, yes, definitely.
We'll meet you guys next time. Bye bye.